Again, welcome you to the Sporting Angels Educational Spectrum. In the previous video, we talked about what a nation state is. See, the first clear expression about nationalism came in 1789 in France. Right? 1789 was the time when a full-fledged territorial state France became, and that was the time when the political and constitutional changes, the revolutionaries proclaimed that it was the people who would henceforth constitute the nation and shape its destiny. From the very beginning, the French revolutionaries introduced various measures and practices that could create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people. The idea of la patrie and the les citoyens emphasized the notion of a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. A new French flag, the tricolor, replaced the royal flag. That was one of the changes that took place. The royal standard was replaced by the tricolor. Okay, apart from this, the State General, it was elected by the active citizens and it was renamed as the National Assembly. This was the second major change. Apart from this, new hymns were composed and oaths were taken, martyrs commemorated, all the same of the nation. A centralized system was put in place and it formulated uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. Internal customs, duties and dues were abolished and a uniform system of weights and measures was adopted. Regional dialects were discouraged and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. The revolutionaries further declared that it was their duty to get the other European territories as nation states, to liberate the people of Europe from despotism. In other words, to help other people of Europe to become nations. When the news of the events in France reached different cities of Europe, students, other members of educated middle classes began setting up Jacobin clubs. Their activities and campaigns prepared the way for the French armies which moved into Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, and much of Italy in the 1790s. With the outbreak of the Revolutionary Wars, the French armies began to carry the idea of nationalism abroad. With the wide swath of territories that came under his control, Napoleon set himself for a number of changes. Through a return to monarchy, Napoleon had no doubt destroyed democracy in France, but in the administrative field, he had incorporated revolutionary principles in order to make the whole system more rational and efficient. The Civil Code of 1804, usually known as the Napoleonic Code, did away with all privileges based on birth, established equality before the law, and secured the right to property. The code was exported to the regions under French control in the Dutch Republic, in Switzerland, in Italy and Germany. Napoleon simplified administrative divisions, abolished the feudal system, and freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues. In the towns too, guild restrictions were removed, transport and communication system was improved, peasants, artisans, workers and new businessmen enjoyed a newfound freedom. Businessmen and small scale producers of goods in particular began to realize that uniform laws, standardized weights and measures, and a common national currency would facilitate the movement and exchange of goods and capital from one region to another. However, in the areas conquered, the restrictions of the local populations of French rule were mixed. Initially, in many places, such as Holland and Switzerland, as well as in certain cities like Brussels, Mainz, Milan, Warsaw, the French armies were welcomed as harbingers of liberty. But the initial enthusiasm soon turned to hostility as it became clear that the new administrative arrangements did not go hand in hand with political freedom. Increased taxation, censorship, forced conscription into the French armies required to conquer the rest of the Europe. The advantages seemed less when they were compared to the disadvantages. See, it is human nature that one cannot enjoy all the things at the cost of one's freedom. And this was the problem with Napoleonic Code. Although he facilitated many things, administration was really in for a big changes, and those changes were for the good of the businessmen, were for the good of the middle class, but definitely at the cost of freedom. And who wants to lose freedom? So the disadvantages outweighed the advantages. We have discussed so far. Go through the video twice. Tomorrow we shall pick up a new topic. We shall be discussing about further how this nationalism proceeded further in other parts of the Europe apart from France. Thanks for joining.